Today we're going to be making quilling project, and this is just strips of paper that you roll into tight. You roll it up, and then you kind of let it loose a little bit, and then you pinch it, and you can make different shapes. So this one I made a flower, and I just used a jar cover, and I put I cut out some black paper to put on the background so that the colors stand out better. So I'm going to start out. I already put the you can just trace this and cut it out and just push it in. So we have a nice black background there. If you don't have a jar cover, you could also just use the origami project we had recently, where you make little boxes. You could use that to frame it too. But yeah, and I'll show you another option too. But what you want to do, you can take a toothpick. You're taking strips of paper, and these are just a 1/4 inch. You can take a piece of, or a toothpick, and just start rolling it. You can just pull that out and just start rolling it into a little tight circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And this is a smaller project, but you can make them big too. But here, I'm just going to show you what I do. Okay, now got it in a nice tight little, you can loosen it up, and then you can kind of pinch it like that, and you have a petal. And if you want to just take a little bit of glue, you can use a glue stick here too, but I think the glue probably works better. There. And you just want to start making a hold it a little bit. There we go. I'm going to make a orange center for this, for the middle of the flower. That one I think will make it a little tighter. If you start out with a tight rolling, and then you can let it loose a little bit. This one I'm going to keep tight because we're going to use this for the center of the flower. Yeah, if you want to make it tighter, you just kind of hold on to it and pull. That'll bring it back to being tight again. There we go. Put a little glue on that. And just hold it for a little while. Let's put that in here. And we can just start making more and more leaves. You can start out with this. If you don't have this, you just want to do it on paper instead of a little jar cover, you can make them looser. You can use a pencil to do this, to start it out. But once you got it going, you just keep rolling with your fingers. Okay, let's just let it go a little bit. Ooh, just like that. we'll make a leaf. Just squeeze it. Okay. Put a little glue on it. So that's basically how you kind of make these shapes. And then just put them in here. Well, we can make them all around in a circle. I have some already made up. So you can just arrange them in here. This one I'm going to put off to the side a little bit. And if you want to fill it in with some green in the background, you can. And you can just make these any kind of shape you want. And then the more you put in, the tighter it gets. And it stays in place then. But you can do this any way you want. Sort of like that. So it kind of looks like a flower there. The petals there and the green on the outside. If you don't have a jar, what you can do is we can just put it on paper and glue it on paper. So I'm just going to start with the center. And let's just make a flower. We'll just, once you have these all made up, you can just start assembling it on paper. I got this idea from Markel because we were doing the project in the jar covers, but then he did it as on paper and it looked really nice. So you can just go like this. There. Now, if you want, you can just, I just did this by hand. Just take a strip of paper and kind of roll it up. Let's do 2 of these. Like that. So, why don't we go like this? And you can, if you want, you can glue these together. You can make it any way you want. But what I'm going to do is just put some of this on the edge. I always like getting glue on my fingers. I don't know if that comes when I was a little kid, but when you get glue and it dries on your fingers and you peel it off, I always think that's a fun thing to do. So there, we're going to glue that on just like that. And then you can take and make some leaves. This can turn out really, you can do anything you want with this. You could just make, I've seen where they took these and just made circles, and then they put color in the middle, you know, like put a orange and then yellow around it and then pink, and then just make them tight little colors and put them all side by side. And if you pack enough of these in, they just hold themselves in place. You can make this any way you want. Just like that. And just glue those in place. And then we have a flower. And you could frame it. You can put this on, you can put it on a card if you want. But it's kind of fun to do. And if you go online and you look at Quilling, it's Quilling, and look up the images for quilling. There's some really beautiful quilling that you can see that some people do. But it can start out simple like this, and you can get even more complex by making more and more complex shapes. But do whatever you want. It's your own project, and have fun with it, okay? Bye-bye.